Hello, and welcome to day 19 of Linktober. The main calendar's prompt today is Link. Originally, I was gonna do the Skyloft Link, sort of just lounging on the grass and watching his Loftwing fly around, but when I came back to the sketch to finish it, it wasn't vibing with me anymore, so I changed it to be sort of, handsome Link. Not that Link isn't always handsome, but I made him extra handsome.
As I said in the little intro thing there, I did start by planning to do Link just sort of lounging around and watching his Loftwing. I keep wanting to call it a Skywing. Loftwing, not Skywing. They're in Sky Loft with loft wings. But I had done the sketch, closed the book, went to do other things because life. Came back to it, and I was just like, no. So I erased it and started over. Originally, it was just gonna be kind of him being like alert and like, ooh, what's that over there? And it's just turned a little more playful. I don't know how. It's just I went with the flow of things, and he became more playful, and I was like, okay, this works. But I didn't just want to do the torso. I thought that felt a little stiffish, so I tried to, throw his hand in there, holding up his tunic. And in the sketch, while it wasn't great in the sketch, it didn't look too bad. The hand. And I don't know what happened. It was the last thing I inked. And everything else was looking so nice. And his poor hand. It turned into this teeny tiny little baby hand when I inked it, and I'm like, no. So other than his teeny tiny little baby hand in the final picture, I really love how this one came out. But yeah, he's got a teeny tiny little baby hand in the final picture, and I'm like, And if I hadn't put the lines down in the order that I did, I would have been able to hide it better, and I probably should have just had the tunic completely draped over the hand, just for sanity's sake. But I typically don't have a lot of trouble with hands. I know that's weird to hear someone say, but I typically don't have trouble with hands, so I wasn't too worried about it. And so he has a baby hand. As for what's happening in the picture, I'm lamenting the baby hand. It's my Link from my story Darkness Descended, and off camera is his traveling companion, who is scolding him because they've just had to repair the tunic and his undershirt there. So you can see I'm putting in all of the stitch lines and such, because, he got it all, baby hand, got it all messed up and torn up and such, so he's being scolded, and he's like, come on, you're not in any better shape than I am. And he's like, it's an occupational hazard, so he's just kind of playing with it, and they're like, ugh. I mean, they're not like being like serious scolding, they're just like playful scolding, but yeah, it's just kind of that moment's reprieve after everything's done, where they're kind of like, oh boy, okay, we can take a breather. We can actually sit for a moment. There's nothing attacking us. But yeah, that's kind of what's meant to be going on, because, it's, with all of the damage Link takes in the games and stuff like that, there is no way that his outfit is not in absolute shambles with stitch lines everywhere. I'd assume by the end of Link's journey, if he wasn't a master sewer at the start of it, he definitely was pretty darn good at sewing by the end of it. Could probably look at his clothes and be like, oh yeah, that was his first stitch there, and that's the most recent stitch there. That's just a weird thing in my head that, like, I've thought about multiple times, and I just, you know, it's there, it's a thing. So I have been noticing this camera doesn't like picking up certain colors well. It's not, I had talked about it in the last video where it didn't really like the reds and it wasn't picking up the colors combinations well and stuff. But like the skin colors, like it shows really yellow, but they're not. They're like, they're not that yellow in person. And like there's other little colors and such here too that like it does not like picking up, and I don't know if it's the camera or if it's my lighting. I have to play around more and try to figure it out, but with trying to get everything done between just getting the artwork done and getting the videos done, I really haven't had a lot of time to fiddle with it, so this is what we've got for now. I tried to add in washed out blood stains. It kinda works, I guess. It also just kinda looks like the shirt is wet and you're seeing his skin through it. It's meant to be like a heavier cotton, so you wouldn't actually be able to see through it, but that was the attempt anyway. I don't think it came out that bad, but it does look like the shirt is wet instead. Probably just added an extra layer of gray that I didn't need to add. But overall, aside from the baby hand, I am very happy with this one.
The shadow prompt for today is Dark Beast Ganon. I attempted to cute and chibify the big purple monstrosity from Breath of the Wild. I think I succeeded. But, I mean, I don't draw pigs that often, and I don't draw chibi things that often, so you be the judge.
Yeah, so I drew an oink. Drew a big, angry, tiny oink. Big, tiny. Well, he's big, but he's tiny, because he's chibi here. Well, I attempted anyway. When I colored it, like, I liked the shape of his face when I drew the line work and stuff like that, but when I added the color in, because of how I put the patterning, it ended up making his face look very flat. And I wasn't quite sure if adding some darker spots in spots would help unflatten it, so I just didn't bother because honestly it doesn't look that bad with a flat face. But overall I really like how he turned out. I like the colors I used. I didn't actually have a reference pulled up for this at all. I just sort of did it based on memory of what the big bad beast Ganon in Breath of the Wild looks like. And just sort of simplified and shrank it down so there aren't like the big energy streaks or anything like that, but I kept like the purple and black colors and such. And my voice. Yeah, it was different trying to use the pinks and the purples with the blacks. It's not a color combination I use all that often, but I do like that color combination. I should probably use it more. Because I'm not a pink person, but if you put black in there and add in a little purple, pink's not too bad. But yeah, what was I saying? Color combinations, and this marker gets really pink after it dries. But I was trying to, with the patterning I was putting down, I was trying to sort of replicate that movement and streakiness from the energy when he's big and bad. I'm not sure if it quite comes across, but I do still like the final outcome. It did take me a little longer than I thought it was going to, but I'm very happy with it, and I think he's kind of cute, and he's huffy puffy, so that also makes it cute. I don't know. He's a little oink, and I like him. the end of day 19. I am really struggling to get these up and out, but I really want to make it to the end of the month because we're almost there. So, I hope to see you around. Till then, bye.